Hello there, fellow model makers, and welcome to the fourth and last part of our Trumpeter 135th scale Indian Army T-90S build. This is where we left off last time. We are almost done with the build, and it's time now to start working on the tracks. I must say that it does take a long time to put this kit together, with many tiny parts and photo etch pieces, but in the end, it does look wonderful. Each link of the track needs to be cut and cleaned. The hollow track horns are provided separately and have to be cut, cleaned and glued in place individually. Once I had made all the individual links, it was time to glue them together. The kit comes with this jig to help assemble the tracks. I first arranged the links in the jig. Now, I add a tiny bit of Tamiya extra thin cement between the links. And here's the slightly tricky part. I make a large section by joining two of the track parts together. I have only given the cement a few minutes to cure, so it is not completely set yet. This allows me to mold the track along the wheels without snapping them or breaking them. Once somewhat correctly molded, I leave the tracks on the wheels for the cement to set. Here is the track for the other side, which I had done earlier. The reason I am doing this is so that I can still paint the tracks without mounting them on the tank. Once the pre-shaped tracks are painted, I will simply glue them in place on the wheels. Right, before we start painting, I mask all the clear parts with this liquid masking fluid. So, looking for the right paint for this kit, I narrowed it down to these two choices: sand yellow and warm sand yellow, both by MIG. I finally decided to go with the slightly darker sand yellow. For the brown, I chose this earth brown, again by MIG, which they had been kind enough to send me as a gift when I had ordered some paints from them. So thank you, MIG. I start airbrushing the sand yellow one light layer after another. This is the best way, I am told, to apply MIG paints. I keep building up the layers till I am satisfied that I have an even coat of paint all over the kit. I think it took about 4 light layers. Now to add the camo with earth brown. I give the tracks a coat of Tamiya Black X1. The wheels are hand painted with Vallejo black grey. The machine gun is painted with life color satin black. I add some burnt umber to the middle of the track. It is now finally time for the tracks and the side skirts to be attached to the kit. The kit is then given a couple of coats of pledge or future flow polish. Time for some weathering. Now, I will be doing minimal weathering on the kit. In fact, the absolute basic. The reason being that these tanks are new tanks and have not seen any action. As a result, these tanks are kept in pristine condition and are very well maintained. Not to mention that this particular tank was prepared for the Republic Day parade, so I doubt there would be any rusting or chipping of paint. To start with, I add some subtle shades to the paint by using white oil colors. I apply some paint and bend it or streak it with a brush. Now, some panel line wash with Tamiya brown panel line accent color. extra wash was later cleaned up with a Q-tip or cotton bud dipped in turpentine. One can also use odorless spirit for this. We are now on the home stretch. I add some North African dust from MIG's Nature Effects on the tracks and the lower half of the tank. I also do some splattering near the mud guards and skirting. Once again, I clean up the weathering with a flat brush moistened with odorless spirit. All the metal edges are given a rub over with gunmetal pigment. And here it is, fellow model makers. A long time in making, but my take on Trumpeter's 135th scale Indian Army T-90S Bhishma. This is a rather effort and time consuming kit, but in the end I must say that it has excellent detailing and looks just superb. Well, that's all for this time. I hope you enjoyed the build. Do like and subscribe. Till next time, have a great time, good luck and keep modeling.